That's pretty much everything. Oh, yeah. Anyway, so, gentlemen, the book I was reading was just fantastic.
Yeah.
Learning a lot about history, and it's just wonderful.
Yeah.
It's funny what they did with the clowns.
Wow.
I was pissed off that they didn't have a sequel to it, but, other than that, it was great.
They will eventually.
Yeah,
Hollywood
I'm sure
will
they
take
will.
care of that.
I don't know how we start off this after that. Hello, everyone who is tuning in right now to this podcast. Okay, looking over here. That's the second day in a row I've done that. It's like, oh, yeah, I've never looked at a camera before. This is Trends with Benefits, our weekly roundtable podcast where we gather experts and friends to talk about the tech topics of the day and whatever is going on. We're broadcasting live on YouTube. If you're watching there, we want to hear your comments. We want to know what you want to talk about. Such things today as home surveillance drones, a Moto luggage that you'll have to see the douchiness that is involved with that.
Oh, it looks kind of fun to me, I think.
Okay, we may have a debate. You're one of those guys. Okay. Now it's starting to make sense.
It just looks fun.
Target market.
Yeah, right, yeah.
So a bunch of different things. I'm your host, Greg Nibbler. Let's go around the room and see who we've got here today. So to my right.
My name is Rick Stella, and I'm one of the staff writers here for Digital Trends.
Excellent. And?
Caleb Denison, a.k.a. Clab. That's my new
Clab.
hip-hop name.
Why is it Clab?
You know where that came from, right?
No.
Oh, that was the Starbucks barista. I told her my name in New York, and it came back K-L-A-B.
Clab.
In all caps, and it just looked really cool, so I kept it.
All right.
I think that was a gun on GoldenEye.
Was it really?
The claw.
Oh, that's right.
It's just a pronunciation.
Well, and our special guest down here at the end, Mr. Nariko Ott.
Hey, how's it going?
Hey, Nariko just won Portland's funniest person.
Hey.
Not even just won, like you accomplished that. Like you beat out how many people? Like 150 people?
Over 150, yeah.
Yeah, over like several different rounds.
Beat out, like just fist.
Yeah.
It's weird. They have comedians come on and they just punch. There's no words. You're not alled to speak. There's the whole thing.
That's the key. That's
or
the
make
hard
funny
part.
faces. Yeah, you got to just...
So it's really about how funny you swing and
Yeah.
fall.
But yet still be
It's all
effective.
physical comedy.
Yeah.
I have a wet noodle arm style like that I just throw them out.
I can see that working.
Nobody's been able to top it yet. So Nariko, though, thanks for coming on. So Nariko's our guest today. All right, let's get down to the topics. And I feel like we have to bring this up here at the beginning because it's everywhere and it's all everybody's talking about. And it is Pokémon Go, just because it's making billions of dollars right now for everybody. It just came out today.
Tens of billions.
Tens of billions. Like Apple alone is going to make its estimated $3 billion just off of the app, since they get 30% of sales when it gets downloaded. $3 billion just off of that.
Over 2 years.
Over 2 years.
Yeah, it'll take them 2 years to get that.
Oh, well, then that's not so big a deal.
Well,
Yeah.
it's still a lot of money. For Apple.
Just $3 billion over 2 years.
Yeah.
Chump change.
Yeah.
But so $3 billion over 2 years, and now they're teaming up with McDonald's to start turning in the Pokestops, and I wish I didn't know what that was, but I do. And to start turning those into like teaming it up with McDonald's, so people go to the McDonald's on purpose to do that.
On purpose. They know their clientele at least.
Right, yeah, they do.
You know?
But
You mean they're not going there for the salad?
Right, that's probably not it. But on top of that, this is the thing, though, because there's so many people that are making money off of this. This one that just came out today seems like the most ridiculous one I've heard so far. And there's all kinds of things where people are like driving people around to go find them and charging like $20 an hour to do that.
Does this involve a Shamrock Shake?
Oh, I love the Shamrock Shake.
Shamrock Shake.
Can you imagine you get you catch a Pokemon if you get a Shamrock Shake?
Like it comes out of your
That's
shake.
a good day, you know? I mean, if you're
Right.
into Pokemon Go.
Yeah, if you're into that.
Anyway,
Oh, Shamrock Shake, fewer calories than their salad, actually.
Really?
I don't know
Is
if
it
you heard
really?
that. No, I don't know.
Okay,
That's
well,
probably
you
true.
can say
It
it. That's
sounded
not
like
the
it.
history.
if you get the buttermilk ranch dressing.
I look like an authority on McDonald's.
Let me
That's
tell
really
you.
funny.
Guys,
They're
it's not so
like,
funny.
This guy eats a lot. You can tell.
How'd that go?
The most ridiculous one I've seen now is the Pokemon dating service, where you register
course.
for it, and their key is that it's not a computer that matches you up; it's an actual person that looks at different profiles and matches you up with
Who
someone.
is this
and
person?
They're experts.
Your
It's what they
Pokemon
call
Go
them.
profile?
Pokemon Go experts. Yeah, they look at your profile. I guess your Pokemon Go profile and your whatever you
Like your
submit.
little digital person, and they're
Yeah.
like, you'd be good with this digital person.
I think you
yeah.
submit some other things too, but then they match you up, and then you're supposed to go. They'll send you to some location to go hunt Pokemon.
To go like,
to go stare at your
Yeah,
phone.
I think I could
Throw
do that
Pokeballs
job.
at
I
each
think I'd be
other.
like, oh, you look like a desperate dweeb, and so do you. Hey, look at that. I'm match
Crazy.
made in
Look
heaven.
at
Oh, yeah.
there. There we go. I don't know. It's just. It feels like it's starting to jump the shark at this point. What do you guys think about this? Would you use a Pokemon Go dating service.
I don't know. I feel like we need Brad in here for this. He's like I think the only one who's really like actually playing this game
Right.
in the office, right?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Except for Greg is totally playing it.
I don't know what you're talking about. No, it's
yeah,
not on my phone.
yeah.
But Brad got you into it. I was on the
Brad
show
did
that
give
day
me
when he
I
got you
know,
into it. You
God
downloaded
damn
it that day.
I hate admitting it. I hate it. Like I secretly do it. I was actually walking through the lobby down here when I came
It's
here.
not a secret. Everybody sees you do it.
Did you?
I tried to because I was like, okay, let me just see what works in here because I still don't really understand it and I've never played Pokemon, but I thought I had it on silent, so I was just walking and I held my phone up like this, and it comes on and it's loud as possible. The music just starts blasting right next to everybody I'm walking by. Just desperately
I'm watching a
trying to-
YouTube video. I swear.
Mute.
Yeah.
which just made it look worse. Yes, I have played it. I would not use a Pokemon Go dating service.
Yeah,
feel like
I don't know if I would either.
I wouldn't want to date someone who plays Pokemon Go. That
What kind
much.
of weird topsy-turvy universe are we in where like people can play Pokemon Go for the chicks? Do you know what I mean? Like what kind of who wrote this? What world am I living
You guys
in?
are talking like this is a bad thing. Like, first of all, if I was playing Pokemon Go, I'd totally try that out just to see how it went because that sounds like an adventure
Hence
to
the
me.
creation of the app. I'm
Exactly,
sure, you know?
exactly. Well, but I mean, also, like, I think it's safe to say that there's a lot of Pokemon Go players who could use a nice date, you know?
Sure.
And maybe haven't had one in a really long time or ever. So, you know, yeah, let them
So this
let them
piggybacks
hook
on the
up.
whole like this is getting people outside. It's helping with their depression and anxiety and like more
You know,
social.
I think that a lot
advantages.
of that is actually unfairly poo-pooed. You know, I mean, my daughter, you know, recently started. She's only 7. She recently started playing with her mom, and they went out exploring in their new neighborhood, and they found this secret alleyway that they didn't know existed, that was loaded with all kinds of like berry bushes, and it's just like this treasure trove of fruit, you know.
Wow.
So
Oh,
they
okay.
go out there, and so they're exploring. They're finding new places, you know, in that they hadn't discovered before. And I use that anecdotally to sort of suggest that maybe other people are experiencing something similar. Maybe they're actually going hiking.
Yeah,
you
or
know,
finding dead bodies and
Yeah.
Right.
And
is
loaded
this all that
guns.
different than like the whole geocaching craze? It doesn't seem like it is to
forgot
me.
about that.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Oh, right.
Geocaching, and that's still a thing. Like people are still doing that, and there's groups, and I don't know. You know, you know me. I love to make fun of people and talk about how certain tech just sucks and doesn't need to exist.
Right.
I don't think it's that bad. I think at any time there's a bandwagon this big that people are jumping on, it becomes a really easy target. You know, and
All
let's
right.
face it, it's funny. I mean, just ask the funniest guy in Portland.
Yes.
All right, jokes.
That was a hard toss right there.
No, it was fine. I just thought I'd let it fall.
That was such
Set it up.
a dick move on my part.
No, it was fine. I was just like, I'm gonna let this fall out on the ground.
Good job. That was awesome. Well done, man.
So Pokemon Go dating service.
But yeah, so now you can catch them all, including STDs. You can get all of them.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was the easy joke. And
There
I'm
it
about
is.
to go there.
Boom.
Pokeboils. How does that work?
Oh God! All right.
Sorry.
Yep. There goes the PG-13. All right. So Pokemon Go dating. I just want to find some way to cash in on it myself. That's all I want. And I haven't been able
Should
to
have bought
figure it out
Nintendo
yet.
stock. They doubled their stock in a
I
week.
know. Yeah, that would have been good. But there's got to be some way to capitalize on a Pokemon Go thing. I just don't know what it is because these guys are just handing money over, hand over fist.
Yeah.
I want their money. That's what it comes down to. That's what I have to figure
Greedy
out.
Greg comes out.
Yep, that's it. I just want my cut. All right, let's go on to the next topic here. And this is, well, Caleb, you haven't been on the show for like 3 or 4 weeks, it feels
Yeah.
like. Because you've been on the road all over the place.
yeah.
And you were just on the road earlier this week. Is that when it was?
I just got back last night. Yeah.
Just got back
went
last
down
night.
to-
Where did you go?
Went to Los Angeles, specifically Culver City.
Okay.
Which is where there's a lot of movie and TV studio lots.
Right.
We visited. I was there to visit Sony because they had something they wanted to show.
So they just get a hold of you and say, hey, you need to fly down here right now? Like, how much notice do you get?
Well, this one I didn't get a whole lot. I got like 3 or 4 weeks worth of notice.
Okay.
Which actually, come to think of it, is fair. You know, I've been notified the week before and had to just make it happen. But they got a hold of me 3 or 4 weeks ago. Wouldn't talk about why they wanted to bring me down. But usually, I mean, if Sony goes out of its way to... and to be clear, they pay for the flight. They hook, they take care of the hotel and all that.
What kind of
other
hotel
stuff.
did you get for that?
Well, in this case, I stayed at the Culver Hotel, which is actually a pretty historic place. So this is where all of the Munchkins from The Wizard of Oz were housed when they were filming the movie.
Wow.
And
Thought you were going to say something awful happened
Yeah.
to it.
No,
there.
no. No, I mean,
The
which
Great
is
Munchkin Slaughter.
kind of interesting. It
19.
gives it a theme. I mean, I think the building was built around 1914 or something like that. And this was back before Culver City was an actual like municipality, and I mean, it was cool, except for the canned music that they have going on in the hallways and stuff like that. Nothing but Wizard of Oz songs.
No.
So I heard all of those like 7 or 8 times because I left my laptop on the plane.
So for like 80 years, that's been the theme of this place.
Oh yeah,
It's because some munchkins
yeah,
stayed there.
as far as I know, it hasn't changed.
Wow.
And I forgot my laptop on the stupid plane, so I was forced to use the one computer in the business center, and yeah, I was exposed to that music for a good 5 hours solid.
Oh.
Where I could not get away from it. Anyway, the point is, I went down there to visit Sony. They had something supposedly cool to show, and it turns out they really did. It was a brand new television, and it's tough because if we talk about like the tech behind the TVs,
right?
You used to have plasma, right? That was what started the whole flat panel thing, but plasmas were thick and heavy, and they used gobs of energy, and they got really hot. So even though they had really great picture quality, better than your LCD or LED TVs, they went the way of the dodo. They're now gone.
Okay.
So LED, LCD took everything to that super thin level, and that's great, except for the picture quality took a serious dive. And then they've been bringing that up over time. And then OLED came out of nowhere, and all the TV reviewers and video geeks out there, myself included, went absolutely berserk over it, right? Because they finally brought real black levels back. And again, when you're watching TV, probably the thing that you notice the most, even more than color and resolution, is contrast, right? And you can't have contrast without really good blacks.
Right.
In fact, just a little bit of graying out of the blacks just completely screws your whole contrast rating. Anyway, so yeah, I mean, when you look at a TV and you go, dang, that looks good, it's probably because it has really good contrast. All this to say that all the problems that come with an LCD TV that uses LED backlights, Sony got really serious about solving those problems.
Okay.
And they went absolutely nuts. And I mean, it's definitely the best LED-based TV I've ever seen. They really, their engineers worked really hard on this. They've got some brilliant minds going on over there in Japan. And, man, they just knocked it out of the park, this TV. Now, it's expensive, like the OLEDs are expensive. So the 65-inch version, it starts at 65 inches, right? So you
Right.
know
Nice.
that they're really serious about that.
Right.
What you're seeing on the screen right now is a 100-inch version.
Oh, wow.
We don't know when that's going to come out, and I'm pretty sure it's going to be $40,000 or $50,000 when it does.
No.
The 65-inch version is $7,000.
God.
$7,000 for the 65 and $10,000 for the 75.
Oh, no big deal.
Right.
Which, like I said, puts it on OLED levels, but the brightness that this thing is capable of. So it gets fairly close to OLED in terms of black levels, right?
Right.
But it creams OLED when it comes to brightness. Like, it can put out an insane amount of powerful luminance. And yeah, when you talk about contrast, I mean, it pretty much knocks it out of the park.
Okay, but at that price, who's going to be able to afford?
You'd be surprised.
Yeah.
Is there a huge market for people buying expensive TVs
I wouldn't say
like
it's
this?
a huge market, but
But it's
I
enough.
mean, LG sold enough of their OLED TVs to keep it going. And also, they're gonna and look, let's face it, there's a little bit of a, it's a sword fight. They're basically trying to outdo each other.
Right.
Who's got the biggest, baddest technology? And Sony is fighting to stay relevant, while the two Korean rivals, Samsung and LG, absolutely just decimate everybody, except for Vizio. Vizio is still hanging in there. But man, I mean, it's an engineering feat. It looks awesome, and if you've got big bucks and you want the best TV, it's definitely in consideration now.
Awesome.
You have to be kind of a TV nerd to really appreciate what's being done with the backlights, how focused they've made it, how bright they can get it. And we're going to talk all about that at Digital Trends. I'm probably going to write an explainer article, why are we so geeked out over this TV? So keep an eye out for that. But know that Sony, a lot of people are like, what's going on with Sony? They're kind of fading into the background. They have an only premium line of TVs here in the U.S. And rumors, but they spun off their TV division and all this other stuff. But they're very much in the game. They're doing a great job, and it was just amazing to see what they did.
Are you just saying this because you got to stay in the hotel the Munchkins were in?
No, I'm not.
You had to plug it. Yeah.
This is a legitimate praise for Sony. I think that they did a really good job. I think credit is, I like to give it where it's due.
Sure.
And, I spent a lot of time talking about, hey, this TV is way too expensive for what you get.
Yeah.
That's a common comment for me from Sony. But this was awesome. It was great.
Cool.
And Culver City was nice as well.
What if you went there to look at the TV and the first thing they showed was Wizard of Oz? Would you just
Like a
I hate
VHS
this
version.
TV. I hate this TV with all my heart.
I probably would have lost I probably would have gotten really, really
What
upset.
do they show you?
They usually show nature scenes.
Okay.
Like stock
And,
images and stuff.
Well, I mean,
Yeah,
you
because if
saw
it's a
lot
television
of-
show, that's kind of a crapshoot.
You
If
saw
you
a
do
lot of
hate
it
something.
earlier. If you were watching this on YouTube, you actually saw a lot of that stuff. It's like bridges at night and waves. And
Sunsets
for a while
and,
there was this really big fixation on cherry blossoms. Like, you can't go, it used to be a joke, you couldn't go to CES or CDR or any of these other consumer electronics trade shows without seeing at least 4 TVs showing pictures of cherry blossoms. I don't understand what it's all about.
Yeah,
but
when the fixation came to...
yeah, it's definitely, it's still a thing. I still see it. I just didn't see it this particular
I
trip.
was gonna say, who was the person who's like, no, cherry blossoms are out.
Somebody had
New
to put
stock
the kibosh
images.
on
Yeah.
that. Yeah.
It's good to be in the cherry blossom
They
business,
did.
I
You know
guess.
what they did though? They took one of their TV cameras and they set up like a TV set, right? Couch, some lamps, neon sign in the background. It looked like it could have been, from Friends or something, right? They had their 4K HDR professional Sony like TV camera set up. They had 4 people in this set, right? And so you've got some real stuff, you've got some still objects, you've got some illuminated lamps and the really bright neon sign. And then they showed side by side a TV that works with today's broadcast standard, and then one of these new fancy 4K HDR deals. And the difference between the two was just mind-blowing. Like on the old SDR standard, like all the bright stuff was just kind of washed out, and you didn't see any detail at all in like the lamps or anything like that. Whereas the fancy HDR one was just, it was ridiculous. Like you don't really know how much you're missing when you watch TV right now. Versus real life until you see
the difference.
Yeah, what can actually be done. So, for me, it was kind of like seeing where we're going to be in like 5 to 7 years, and just how awesome that's going to be. Like TVs really are going to be getting better. We haven't hit that wall.
Awesome. Well, the whole review is at digitaltrends.com too, so everybody can go there and take a look at it. Just went up today, I think, right?
Yes.
Okay, so we can all go there and check that out. So that is the new Sony television. Let's go on to the next topic. Just because this one I want to talk about because I've got an issue at home that I'm going to bring up right now. This is a very sensitive moment.
Is this
right
one
here
that you can deal with like a cream or a salve?
Let's just put in some soft piano music underneath this right now. No, I've been having somebody stealing stuff from my backyard, and if you're watching right now, I will find you. Whoever it is, they've stolen a wheelbarrow and bikes and
somebody
and you know who
stole
you
my
are.
chipper shredder. Ooh. It's like 200 pounds.
Yeah, that
but
sucks.
But it's on 2 wheels, and somebody just rolled that.
Chipper shredder,
Yeah.
shovel. There's
Well,
like
actually-
a landscaper going around stealing
Right?
everybody's
Somebody's
stuff out of there.
stealing
This is
stuff.
Very successful
Well, I left-
entrepreneur out there.
Yeah, right.
I was actually a judge for one of the nights for Helium Comedy Club's Funniest Person, and
Thank you, by the way, Greg.
Yes, yeah.
How
much
I
did
worked
you have to
out.
pay him?
That's
to...
off the air. Off the air. Well, it didn't work out for me. So you get these gift bags, and they're nice. You get a bunch of gift certificates. I left mine on my back porch. I went in through there because that's the key I had with me, and I forgot. Woke up the next morning, they were gone. So I lost those. But somebody came in my backyard. The point is this: I've been looking into like surveillance. I've been looking into getting cameras. I'm starting to go crazy with this. I'm becoming one of those guys. But now there's this company called Cardinal Robotics that has come up with a new possibility for this, and it's a drone, but it's a surveillance drone that will do perimeters around your house for you with a 14 megapixel camera, 1080p video. And it's not out yet. Right now, I believe it's in the Kickstarter phase. But it's got like it's nighttime compatible. It's got an infrared camera, infrared LED lights. And if I were ever to get one of these, this is all I would do all night long, I would just look at my phone because I'm assuming it matches up with your with a mobile app
live
of some
stream.
kind. Right, live stream. Just patrol my house trying to find who it is that's stealing my wheelbarrow.
Looks like a really fat flying squirrel or something.
It does kind of.
Is it gonna fly all day? Does it have an infinite?
So it
battery?
flies
Like,
for 20 minutes at a time as of right now, and then they don't explain a whole lot of how it works. It's like, it
Right.
flies 20 minutes, protection, $4,000. And then that's kind of what they're saying
and
right
you're
now.
gonna have to have two of those.
$4,000.
Yeah, you'd have to run cycles or whatever.
Exactly.
Yeah,
One
you need
takes
two.
over for the other as it
Right.
recharges at its little base or
Yeah.
whatever.
Oh, I need a whole fleet of them. Is
Yeah.
what
It takes
I
like
need.
2 hours to charge. I'm sure you.
Yeah.
Yeah, you need like 8
you
or
need
9
one.
of them.
Yeah, I mean,
On
I'd have to sell
just
my
the
house to
wheelbarrow.
afford it,
Yeah.
but I'm
Only
getting,
do you have 40 grand on you? You can get like
Right.
10 of them, and then
yeah,
Oh, that'd be perfect.
yeah. I
You
mean,
know what's funny is when you wake up and somebody stole your drone.
no, that's the-
You're like, oh,
just in the video of them taking the drone.
oh, you crafty meth
just
heads.
flipping me off and walking off with my drone. That's probably what would happen for me.
I like it when your security drone like develops its own little personality via AI and then comes to your window and records you in your more intimate
I've
moments.
got the perverted drone.
Yeah.
The peeping drone.
I bet that's
Peeping
another. I
drone.
bet that's a whole nother service.
Yeah.
They're like,
Somebody will pay
we
for that.
will pay yeah, $4,000 a month. This thing will sneak in your windows.
When
Just
you
want to
least
feel
expect it.
exposed
Right.
and a little insecure.
That's what you're into.
Well, that's what's called it's Cardinal Robotics. So that is going into Kickstarter right now. I mean, if they can get that-
$4,000 is crazy.
$4,000 is what it is. Yeah.
Can we just pause for a second? I want to give the YouTube audience a little bit of a treat, and we can just edit this out for the actual podcast. But podcast in here. Love you.
Wow, this is happening. This is live right now.
They know I'm joking. They know. Well, I'm only half joking, but yeah.
You neighbors were having sex.
Yeah, that's what it is. You know, these offices, you
Yeah,
never
we're
know
just in
what's
an
going on.
apartment Building.
I hope they know that's.
Never knock on Pete's door.
I'm getting fired after this podcast, by the way.
I feel like you could always hear us because there's like that space there, unless they blocked off the wall.
Right.
I don't know.
That's
Great
Pete's
live
office,
television right now.
That's Pete's office, I think.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's
I'm-
Pete's,
You're
yeah.
not even sure who you are.
I think I'll be safe. I don't know.
Well, we'll find out. There's
All
going to be a press
goodwill
release.
has been erased at this
Yeah,
point.
press release is going to be put out after this podcast. All right. Well, with the drone thing, there's one other thing that I see a lot of people are commenting on this actually, and it has to do with something Amazon is trying to do with the. Oh God, here it
Oh,
goes.
here comes the firing.
Oh, it's Jeremy.
Yeah, we
Yep.
need- What the hell?
There's going to be a live talking to that's going to happen.
It had to be the editor-in-chief
Yeah.
that I just.
It was Caleb.
It was. Yeah.
It was
Caleb.
Caleb.
Pointed to Caleb.
And we were making fun jokes about it. Go ahead.
All right, joining us now,
Let me go.
Yeah, special guest.
special guest
fired.
Jeremy Kaplan.
Donald
Thank
Trump
you.
joins for a second.
What were you doing? Like playing basketball against the wall, or what was that?
Actually,
The
I had a
racquetball court in
basketball,
there,
and I was- to my limited extent of abilities, I was doing a little dribbling and shooting. That was shameful, actually.
No,
That was my display of
Right, that's the demonstration of
Watching
how
the
that should
and
work.
one like mixtapes in there and trying to replicate the moves.
I went out of my way to do that, thinking it would be funny, and I got fired. So that's
Yeah.
I found it funny.
you can go ahead and finish out the show, but then when you're done,
then
you know,
I'm
Right.
out,
yeah.
out the door. That figures.
Turn in your things.
I just-
Yeah.
I just
Take off
did
that watch too.
Yeah,
That's
right. Yeah, that's definitely a DT property.
What are you guys talking about?
well, let's see. Right now,
Surveillance drones.
with our special guest, yeah, we were talking about surveillance drones because I want one. And then we were going on
Somebody
to.
stole his wheelbarrow.
Yeah, somebody stole a wheelbarrow out of my backyard. I'm so pissed about that wheelbarrow. I haven't used it in months, but just the fact that it's not there now, I'm pissed.
But that
off
was
about it.
yours to not use.
Right, yeah,
Right?
exactly. I think it even had a flat tire because I hadn't used it in that long. But we went from surveillance drones. There's another thing that's happening right now where Amazon is talking about how they want to start putting, for their Prime Air, which is going to be their drone delivery service, they want to start putting docking stations on light poles and church steeples in cities. And they're saying they would put those on there and then have all kinds of a security system for them. But that's how they want to start storing those.
That's all that empty space up there on those church steeples.
Right.
Just cut that weird T off the top. We can use that. We can use that
a
area.
landing zone.
You're not even using it.
Nobody's up there.
Don't you think that getting them on top of church steeples is going to be a hard sell with the churches?
Yeah.
I mean,
I don't know. They're not making a lot of money, probably.
There is
some areas.
there is the cross thing,
Right.
definitely. But I mean, just like, I feel like the parishioners are gonna just it's like you can't get a cell tower up there. So why do you think you're gonna be able to get a little drone recharging station?
I don't know if everybody gets a cut. I mean,
what they need. You see a lot of ways to hide those cell towers. Those fake trees that you see on the highways and stuff. That's what they need. Is some special model of fake tree just for the drones.
That is a wonderful idea, Jeremy. I love that.
All right, you're back.
By the way, are you hiring right now? Or
Hey,
We have an opening in the
little
AV
brown nosing
section.
goes a long way, especially here at Digital
All right, how do you
Science.
think you got senior editor?
There we go. All right.
all right, what do you guys think about that though? Yay, nay?
The light poles totally
Light
make
pole,
sense.
yeah.
There's already
Yeah.
power run to them.
Right.
And I mean, basically it's for seagulls to crap on right now. So why not
Why not let them
get
crap
rid
on
of the
drones?
seagulls and you can have them crap on the drones. That's a great idea. But no, it makes a whole lot more sense than going with the church steeple.
But are people going to want more drones? I mean, people already have this backlash against drones, like drones just flying, like a nest of drones, basically by your
do
house.
people really get a choice? I mean, if Amazon
No,
is
that's
definitely
true.
doing
Right.
this with their drones, they're going to be somewhere. So
Yeah.
why not make it a spot where it makes sense? I'd say
you are going to get a choice. It's going to be like when you shop at the deli and they say, "How thinly do you want your meats chopped?" You have the same option when you order from Amazon. Do you want it delivered by drone or by human beings? So we all need to put our feet down and say no to drone delivery.
No to
Are
these
you
drones.
anti-drone delivery?
I have a
go
Facebook
church.
page for you. It's throwing rocks at drones. It's this Facebook page. It's great. Yeah. Our drone conspiracy.
I don't want to be messing up my beautiful light poles that I enjoy so much.
I mean, the architectural fixtures of the city.
Right?
There's some hideous docking station on top of my beautiful
light pole.
light poles.
High pressure sodium lamp.
I've been saying we need to kick squirrels off those things for a while now.
That's why I moved into this neighborhood. All right, well, Amazon's doing that. The final story that we have here is one we have to talk about. And it comes with a video, so if you're listening via podcast, you'll have to go find this video to watch it. But it has to do with the latest in tech for motorized luggage, which everybody needs. It is something called the Moto Bag. And it's a
I love
piece
the
of
first
luggage.
person view.
Yeah, the video is really amazing. Demonstrating in action.
See, that's amazing.
It's a piece of luggage that fits in an overhead bin, but also contains wheels and a motor that you can sit on it with neat little handlebars.
Look how much fun she's having.
How
Tear
much fun
around
they're having.
to the neighborhood. Their video shows very good-looking people
Moto
tooling around
bag.
on these
Yeah.
through airports and on the street.
Not only is there electric wheel and handlebar, but there's also enough room to pack some cigarettes. Not a whole pack, but like some
Right.
cigarettes. Yeah, like 3 or 4, and like a silk scarf.
Drifting around corners. In
Like
this
that'll
thing.
be how they show how much room's in it. They'll have a magician pull scarves out of it. You're like, look at that! You can fit like 100
Still
scarves.
going.
in
Scarves
there.
and loose cigarettes just come out of nowhere.
I feel like the lack of a cup holder is a glaring omission here. I generally judge my motorized vehicles by the availability, number, and quality of cup holders, and I see none right now.
Consider
That's
that you're sitting on that thing and certain parts of the anatomy are close to the other thing. I think a cup protector would be more
Yes, that makes more sense.
actual cup.
Also, where's the weed compartment?
I can put the drinks just in my hat.
The whole
You know what I
thing.
mean? Like, and I have the hard hat with the straws.
Yeah.
So, like that'll just you put the
That
covers
seems
around.
like more like the
Geofence.
person that would be.
It's got
right?
geofencing in there.
Yeah, there's a 200 watt electric motor at full throttle. It can go 8 miles an hour.
Nope, no good. I'm gonna need that to go about 85.
Right.
Take the limiter off. I got to get this thing going.
Yeah. like that'll be my thing. Like that's how I would be like, okay, those things are cool. Is when you're like, no, you can take that on the freeway. You don't even need to take a taxi.
Yeah.
You can just go hauling. Like if you were in the airport and some guy was zipping putting past you on one of those, you'd be like, man, screw that guy. But if you saw somebody like hauling ass and
Right.
leaving burn marks,
Just
and then you'd
tearing
be like,
through.
that is so cool. I like
Passing you in the fast
yeah,
lane.
just
you know?
stopping, do a little burnout,
can't
like in the middle.
catch him.
You'd be like, yeah, okay, that's cool.
The thing, it weighs 19 pounds. Is what it's starting off. Retail price, what you can order one now, you can pre-order one for only $995.
Still cheaper than the surveillance drone.
That's true. Yeah, it is. Maybe I just need one of these. I'll tear around my yard.
run those guys down on your moto.
That'll surprise them. And then $69 for the companion app that comes with it.
Wait,
It's got a
how
mobile
much?
app.
A $70 app?
Is
for
that
the
the
app.
world's most expensive app ever?
Yeah,
Gotta be.
And the app basically, from what I can gather from on here, all it does is it'll locate your bag if you've lost it.
So it's a GPS tag.
It's a GPS
For
yeah.
$70.
That's it
Wow.
for $70. That's on top of it. So
It doesn't monitor your heart rate.
right, yeah.
Go up 2 beats per minute as you're going 8 miles an hour
As
through
you're
an airport.
carrying around little kids at the.
Here's how you handle that. You don't buy the app right
Yeah.
away, right? You save that for your rainy day
Right.
when the airline actually loses your luggage. And you go to them and you say, hey, can you
that's-
find my luggage? And they go, well, we can't. You're like, yes, you can. For the low, low price of $70, we can find my luggage right now. And you get them to pay for the app.
But that's the
Right.
thing, though. It's carry-on, so you don't have to check it. So I mean, really, you're next to it at all
Yeah.
times.
Yeah.
Like
I would ride it off the airplane while everyone's like shuffling out, just
That's-
like coming through.
So that's
riding it down. There.
That was the part that I liked, where I was like, where this will be a real benefit is baggage handlers, where they're like, sweet, we got another one of these, and you just see them like, just whole
Posse's out
gangs
there,
of
like-
them, riding through the
Down
tarmac.
on the carousel. Like,
Yeah. Oh, sorry, I was just moving this.
Well, so Rick, you would buy one of these. You would want one of these.
Well, I don't know if I would buy one.
Right.
Let's don't get too carried away.
Attention,
But I would
Moto bag.
certainly.
But if someone sent
review
one for
Right.
view,
yeah, exactly. If Motobag wants to send one for us to review, I would love to ride it around an airport. And
I would definitely
terrorize
watch a
people.
TV show which involved racing these things.
Yes, right. Motobag drag racing.
Yeah, absolutely.
Somebody's gonna put a GoPro on one of these. That's gonna
That's
happen.
they have one in the video too.
Oh, yeah,
the
yeah.
DePaul kids were riding around on
How
that.
is this not like an infinitely more douchey version of a Segway with like storage? You know what I mean?
That's what it is.
Do you feel like that anybody who purchases this item is going to have a hellstorm of insults and laughter hurled at them?
Yeah.
I think Segway needs to come out with the two-wheeled version that balances itself. The two wheels are only like 2 inches tall, right?
Right.
Like on
Right.
luggage wheels, but it balances just a hair above the ground. And that version will cost an
Hovers.
extra $10,000.
Yes,
I feel
and that's on
better-
Kickstarter right now.
Yeah,
So
of
yeah,
course.
I'd like it better if it was like the drone that follows you.
Yeah.
But it's in that way you don't actually have to I don't know.
Yeah.
Okay, actually,
And then it carries
that's
you.
actually a thing.
Right.
That was I was at CES Asia, and one of the biggest hits of CES Asia was the luggage that follows you around.
wow.
And which makes a lot of sense. GPS tags, got a little
Right.
motor built in there, but it doesn't have to carry the 100 and however many pounds you weigh.
Jesus, dude. Sorry. You and my physique.
You wanted your job back. I mean,
I guess you
gotta be the whipping boy
I
for
gotta
the
be a
rest of the day.
punching bag
Yeah,
for
right.
Jeremy's jokes now. That's fair. That's fair.
He's only in town every so often. It's okay.
Your pantomime punching is just as good as your pantomime basketball, by the way. I'll say that.
I think he probably could have won the funniest guy in Portland, and
Yeah.
he doesn't even live
It's based
here.
on physical,
Physical
fighting.
yeah. And how funny you look doing it.
all right. Well, there we go. The Moto bag. Send Rick Stella one right now for review. I guess we got to get out of here. That's probably all we've got time for today. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in via YouTube. If you're listening via podcast, thank you so much. Of course, you can subscribe on Stitcher and iTunes, wherever you get your podcasts. We do this show live every Thursday at 2:30 p.m. Send us in your questions, your topics, podcast at digitaltrends.com. Nariko, thank you so much.
Thank you.
For coming in today.
Where can we see you around Portland?
Oh,
Tonight, I believe.
Tonight, I got a show at Ground Control, doing no pun Nintendo there.
Nice.
Yeah,
Hell
pretty
yeah.
sweet. It's a loud, noisy, bright place to try to hear someone talk about farts. So I definitely do
They
it.
don't want to hear you talk about farts. Like, I'm playing Street
Well,
Fighter. Shut up.
Too bad
Yeah.
we pipe it in like Wizard of Oz music. There, man. I can't stop it.
And your website, your newly revamped.
I just updated it. Yeah, narikoott.com.
Sweet. All right, go check it out. Thank you so much, everybody. We'll be back next week with another episode.